All right, we are live, and this is the news with John Livia, Serious and Silliness Outcast, and I have the beautiful IG model, Gianna Woods. What's up, Gianna?
Hey, how are you?
Good, good. I'm so glad you do this with me. Thank you very much. It means a lot.
Oh, no problem. It's going to be lots of fun.
Oh yeah. Okay. So I was thinking, what should we do? I was like, because people could like donate money now, right?
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, if they want. Now I have it set up so people could like send a super chat or a super sticker and all this. So I was thinking maybe like, tell me if you think if this is corny, but
Okay.
if anybody actually donates a $5 tip or more, Gianna gives a booby bounce and I tell a joke.
That'll work.
All right.
That'll be good.
Right.
The challenge is on.
Yeah. As soon as we get a donation, we stop what we're talking about. Gianna bounces her boobies and I tell a joke.
Okay. There you go.
I think it sounds pretty good to me.
We'll see how soon it happens.
Yeah. Tell me about it. All right. So we'll just talk about the gorilla in the room right off the bat, since this is the news. RFK and Tulsi Gabbard join the Trump administration. They don't join the Trump administration, but they endorse Trump. Which is like crazy because Tulsi Gabbard was a Democrat as well, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so RFK.
I've seen the memes going around saying, Wonder Woman has joined the Trump administration.
Yeah. That's right. It's unbelievable. That's got to tell you something, that if RFK, from a lifelong Democrat, from probably the most famous and influential Democratic family in American history, right? The Kennedys. When he endorses Trump over the Democratic nominee, I mean, that tells you a lot. That basically tells you, open your eyes, because
well, he was running as an independent, so he'd already taken a step away from the Democratic Party as it was.
Right.
Yeah. So now that he's thrown his endorsement over to Trump, I'm sure the idea is that the liberals or the more conservative Democrats are going to jump ship and come over and join the Trump force, which, I have always thought from the very beginning, that Trump is like, pro-America, not necessarily any certain party, but pro-America. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. So at this point, I think the only people that'll be actually voting for Kamala are the real extreme left-leaning people.
Or the alcoholics.
Yeah. The guys that want free booze. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. There you go. Well, I mean, that's the rumors going around. Why she won't do debates, or did seem to be hiding her away from the press. Is
unbelievable.
She's not getting in front of the camera. They don't know what to expect, so they're not going to take their chances. They're just going to push her to the side.
Yeah. So no debates, no press conference. No interviews, and she was not actually elected as the nominee. So I don't. The people that are still on that end of the spectrum that still want to vote for her, I just don't. I don't get it. I don't understand. But everybody's up, to each his own, I guess.
I thought that there was a debate coming up. Didn't she agree to like one debate out of the three that were proposed?
I've heard certain things that she wants to sit down. She doesn't want to stand during the debate. She wants to have be able to bring notes with her or something to that effect.
Yeah. I guess wanted to have like little note cards with her, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah. It's my friend Kevin from India. Thank you for joining me on this channel, Kevin. Kevin usually follows me on the bodybuilding.
Hi, Kevin.
Yeah. So Kevin, this is the famous Instagram model, Gianna Woods. And how large are your bosoms, Gianna Woods?
They're right around 3,000 cc's, which for my frame puts me at like approximately a 34p.
Yeah.
P is in Paul. Yeah.
P is in Popeye. Yeah.
Artisan pop your eye out. There you go.
Yeah. All right, and the other thing that was recently in the news is that, where are you? Because I know I put it somewhere. Oh yeah, Mark Zuckerberg.
Of course, the latest thing that's happened this week. Yeah, I was like, get up, make my coffee, pull, news up on my phone. I'm like, okay, Zuckerberg, and there's always, his name's always in stories. So I'm like, okay, I'll read it, and I'm like, okay. So everything that the Republicans have been saying have been going on, you're admitting to now, finally.
Mark Zuckerberg says Meta was pressured by Biden administration to censor COVID-related content in 2021. Mark Zuckerberg, chairman and CEO of the social media company Meta, said in a letter to the House Judiciary Committee on Monday that his teams were pressured by the Biden administration to censor some content around the COVID-19 pandemic. At this point, between Mark Zuckerberg saying that, between RFK and Tulsi Gabbard endorsing Donald Trump, what could the Democrats possibly do at this point? They just had the DNC, right, and then this comes out right afterwards. What could they possibly do to gain any point? Like, I know there are some polls but there are polls that are left leaning. There are polls that are right leaning. So on and so forth.
Yeah.
But what could who could they prance out? I mean, another rapper that's gonna twerk. I mean, I don't.
Hire some rapper to get on stage and twerk. I mean, if they're after their old tricks that they did last time, the whole voting machines weren't working correctly, and all these mail-in ballots just kept pouring in, from more residents that were registered in any certain precinct or county. It's like they're running out of tricks in their bag that they can pull out and try to interfere with the election. So it's like, are they going to put Kamala on the ballot? Is it too late to take Biden off the ballot in some states? There's a lot of legal issues going on in the background. So
yeah, and let's just be clear. There really is no president right now.
No.
Yeah, we're basically coasting.
Yeah,
we're basically coasting because ever since they took Biden off the ticket, I mean, I basically think he said, you know what, screw you guys, which kind of don't blame him. But at the same time.
Yeah. Well, should they leave Biden on the ballot? Should they not let Harris be a possible choice? I mean, what can be done at this point?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but it's supposed to be that if Biden something happens, then Kamala's supposed to be running things. But
yeah, well, I mean, I think it's too late in some states to take RFK Jr. off the ballot. So I didn't know the same thing also applied with Biden still being, one listed as the candidate in some states. So I don't know. I mean,
yeah, let's move on to some fun news articles. Some of them
something less serious.
Yeah, absolutely. Some are fun, some are actually stupid. So some of them just blow me away. This one blew me away. But what happened was, what did Kevin say here? They're going to play the underground ticket with Kamala as a woman of mixed heritage, black and yeah, they're trying that already. But I gotta from what I see on social media and the majority of podcasters, the majority of people that I see being interviewed and spoken to, people of color, they're not buying it. They're not buying it. I mean, there are people that are, but the majority of them are not buying the whole, woman of color.
Years ago, when she first ran for elected office out in California, she was touting, her Indian American heritage. And then now here we are, how many years later, and she's no longer Indian. Now all of a sudden she's black, and then it's like neither community really wants to claim her.
Yeah. That's right. All right, let's go on to a more of a fun articles, but strange. I would say more strange. I heard this on a podcast, and I couldn't believe it. Right. Simply Deep, Series of Outcasts with John Olivia, Sup John Olivia, and Miss Gianna, and the chat. What's up, Simply Deep, 1985? What's happening, man? Also, if anybody donates $5 or more as a super chat or a super sticker, Gianna will bounce her boobs, and I will tell you a joke. That's what you get for $5 or more on Serious Intelligence Outcast. You don't just donate; you're buying a booby bounce and a joke.
There you go.
Which will give you an erection.
And no freebies. It's not going to happen until you pay $5.
It will give you an erection and a sense of humor at the same time. The top, we're going over the news. We're going over the news. Simply Deep 1985. All right. So I saw this one on a podcast and I couldn't believe it. And I had to look it up. And I looked it up. This is, I found the article. So here we go. Listen to this. So the podcast was this girl telling other girls. They're telling this girl that was more traditional was telling these girls that were more on the feminist side about this girl that was being saved from drowning. The lifeguard saved her, pulled her out of the water, saved her, and then she sued the lifeguard for sexual harassment because of touching her when he pulled her out of the water. And I was like, wait a minute, that can't be right. That can't be true. And lo and behold, I found the article. So here we go. The article is from a Trending. That's the name of the website. We are not kidding. The International Life-Saving Federation of the ILS estimates that lifeguards in its I-20 member federation across the globe save 1 million lives per year, according to the United States Life-Saving Association, whose lifeguards are ILS certified. The chances of drowning at a beach on their watch is about 1 in 18 million. Okay. Which is or 1.000055%. That's pretty good odds.
Yeah.
That's because, well, lifeguards know what they're doing. When they see someone struggling, they react instantly. Unfortunately, they're not always where they need to be. And if that happens, you'd better hope someone on the beach is a good swimmer. Unfortunately, good deeds don't go unpunished. When someone acts quickly to save a life, they might find themselves facing a massive lawsuit.
Yeah.
In one Reddit thread, a user named blank shared a harrowing experience of a rescue followed by an intense and unnecessary legal battle. Obviously was visiting a California beach when he noticed something happening offshore. Let's see. I am trained as a swimmer, completed they wrote. However, swimming never was more than a hobby for me and a close, total different career path. Okay. 2007, I saved the girl from drowning. For those of you inexperienced with seashores and beaches, the sea will always push you back to the shore unless you are further than a given point. Obviously wrote, after this given point, the strong current will either push you deeper into the sea or keep you where you are. You can't just float back to the shore. You will drown. Okay, so this guy was at the beach with a few friends when he noticed this girl way too far from the shore. By too far, I mean way too far, at least twice as far as any other person. Her gestures were clear. She was drowning, barely keeping her head above water. I turned around. No lifeguard. I later learned that the man who was designated lifeguard chose to take a break and was in the bathroom. So this guy had to make a quick decision, wait for the lifeguard, or rush out to try to save the woman in the moment. It was a difficult decision. So to make this clear, she was getting further and further from the shore by the second. He wrote, I am a good swimmer. I raced to her, then carried her on my back to the shore, keeping her above water. She had already swallowed a lot of water. I risked my own life because my weight with hers could have been too much, but I made it. Normally, this would be the end of the story, but of course that wasn't the case. The lady later sued me. That sounds fairly heartless, but obviously provides context that makes this woman's actions more understandable, although still reprehensible. Now, I learned later that she had to spend 3 days in the hospital, couldn't afford it, tried to sue the beach owners, but her case was rejected, but she still sued me. Her case was that I should have saved her earlier. I had been careless, not carrying her to the shore fast enough, and should have let the lifeguard do his job. Oh, okay. So it wasn't a sexual harassment. It was like a negligent kind of thing. Okay.
Yeah. Good Samaritan law.
I said I had injured her. She was in pain. She wouldn't have swallowed as much water, if that makes any sense. I had the case thrown out by a judge, but still had to hire a lawyer and suffer the humiliation. All right. At this point, I mean, it's just not ridiculous. I mean, I understand that she goes to it. She can't afford. She must not have health insurance. She can't afford it. She talks to a lawyer and says, "We're going to sue the hell out of everybody, even the guy that saved you."
Yeah.
And at that point, you're a grown adult. Don't you say to yourself, I can't do that. I can't do that. Right? John Levy, that's okay. That's good to hear. I saved my question for the next stream, more like getting your opinion on something. Okay, never mind. I mean, at that point, I understand that you want to listen to your lawyer and you don't have the money, but have a heart. The guy like saved your life.
He saved your life, and you turn around and sue his ass. I mean, come on. Yeah.
Okay. Meta Matrix says, wow, she's got some knockers.
It's the wide screen.
Yeah, that's what makes her and I good friends, Meta. That's what happened. I got to make you guys watch somehow.
When I read that article, and I was looking into it, I was looking into the Good Samaritan laws here in Texas.
Yeah.
So, if that same incident had occurred in Texas where, this guy had saved this person from drowning, you would be better protected here in Texas, because as long as you do what a reasonable person would do in that situation, then you're usually fine. You're usually, can't get sued for any type of civil damages.
Yeah, I don't know how it works in
California are a little different.
Yeah, California is like, they're in a whole other universe over there. Like they are, they really are. I mean, I hear crazy stories. The state taking children away because they don't want to abide by the not recognizing the child might be trans, or so on and so forth.
Oh yeah, you use their own pronouns, and you can get your child taken away.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is hearsay. I don't have any proof. I didn't look up any articles, but this is the craziness. I'll tell you one story that happened in California. This was a few years back, which is really crazy. Okay, there was a UFC heavyweight champion.
Okay.
If anybody out there knows his name or remembers this story, just send it. And again, if you guys donate $5 or more, Gianna will shake her boobs and I'll tell you a joke. But yeah, really, you guys are cheap bastards. So this guy, I forget his name. I'd have to look it up, but he was the former heavyweight champion of the UFC. Okay. He has a 5-year-old son. The son is in childcare, not childcare. What is it? Like a nursery, or what do they call it? Preschool, not a preschool, but a nursery school, whatever. Right?
Yeah.
Owned by a couple, elderly married couple, and their son, their 40-year-old son, who still lives with them, works there right off the bat. That's strange, right? Now it's so you're going to take some way kid, give him somebody pro. Yeah, again, Simply Deep. I don't know if that is 100% accurate, but this is what I've seen and heard. I have not done my research on it. That is hearsay. But this story I'm telling you is accurate. Okay, turns out the guy turns out to be a pedo, and he takes these little kids into the bathroom to change. Right?
Oh boy.
Yeah. Okay. Turns out the UFC heavyweight champion's kid is one of them. He's 5 or 6 years old. Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah. So this is in California. They do the right thing. They call the police. The police arrest the man, and I believe release him within 24 hours under house arrest.
Okay.
So just like any other rational father, that's not good enough for this guy, and says, well, I tried doing the right thing, and now I can't. Here we go. William Stone, $5. Always happy to support the sexiest busty woman on the internet. All right. Yeah. Okay. All right. So here's your joke, William. There's a traveling salesman. Okay. And, this traveling salesman, and he has nowhere to stay. He sees this farm. He knocks on the farmer's door, and he says to the farmer, I have nowhere to stay. I'm a traveling salesman. I need to stay somewhere for the night. Can you help me? Farmer says, you can stay here, but you got to stay in the barn. Guy goes, yeah, that's fine. So the guy sits up in the barn. Farmer goes back in the house. Next morning, he wakes up. goes to the barn and says to the guy, "Hey, how did you sleep? Everything work out okay?" And he goes, "Yeah, actually, it was really nice. I got to talk to the animals." He goes, "Talk to the animals? What are you talking about? Talk to the animals?" He goes, "Yeah, I talked to the animals. I talked to the chickens. They told me you collect the eggs every morning at 6 a.m. He's like, "Wow, that's amazing. That's exactly right." He goes, "Yeah, I talked to the horse. The horse's name is Oyster." And he says that he's been here for 10 years. He's like, "That's absolutely amazing. Yeah, that's true." He goes, "I talked to the cow. Cow's name is Elsie. Says you'll milk her every day at 8 a.m. He goes, "That's absolutely amazing. I can't believe it." He goes, "I talked to the sheep." The farmer goes, "Those fucking sheep are liars." All right. What do you want for $5? All right.
That was pretty good for $5.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So the guy had called the police. The police actually released him within 24 hours. The former UFC heavyweight champion, I forget his name. I gotta look it up. Freaks out. Basically, he's like, "You touched my son. I called the police. The police do nothing." Yeah. Cain Velasquez. Yes, Kevin, that's exactly right. Cain Velasquez. That's who did it. Yes. He goes and gets his Glock 9 and gets in his car and heads over there. Right.
Ooh.
Yeah. The three of them in the car, the mother, the father, and the pedo are in the car. Okay. He pulls up next to them and starts shooting bullets into the car. He missed the guy, hits the father. The father lives, but the cops come and chase him down and basically arrest him. And then he spent, I think, 1.5 to 2 years in jail for that incident. And the guy was under house arrest for touching his 5-year-old child.
Ugh.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh boy.
And that is a true story that happened in California. Yeah, exactly. Cain Velasquez, yeah, deserves a gold medal. Yeah, because any father in his right mind would have done something similar, or if it wasn't a gun, it would be a baseball. A
baseball bat, something.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Absolutely. I mean, it's unbelievable. Okay, so the next article. This one really, this one made me smile. I like this one a lot. So Tom Brady's wife divorces him. Yeah, this one was great. Tom Brady's wife divorces him, and she divorced him because he didn't want to retire. He wanted to continue playing football, which I don't know if I don't remember that being in the vows when I got married. Yeah. I remember till death do us part. That part I do. Yeah. I don't remember retiring from my job and going back to work being a vow that's grounds to get divorced. But anyway, let me read the article. Everyone was completely fooled by this outrageous Tom Brady divorce rumor that would have cemented him as the undisputed GOAT. Nearly everyone who has watched a single second NFL game film considers Tom Brady the GOAT of the NFL. There is hardly any question that the 7-time Super Bowl champ will remain at least a top 5 quarterback for all time for years. Many thought Brady had the perfect life. He married Gisele Bündchen in 2009. His marriage was only furthered by sharing 2 children. However, in October of 2022, Brady's playing days have gotten to the best of him, and Gisele divorced him after just 13 years of marriage. Everyone figured the reason was his refusal to leave the game as he went on to play another season. The divorce was on everyone's mind, and crazy rumors. According to Gisele filed for divorce, she requested to have the GOAT's property, half of the GOAT's property, only to be shut down for a straightforward season as his mother owned it all. That to me is the greatest. I mean, because this woman was actually messing around with the karate teacher, remember?
Like karate instructor, bodyguard. I don't know. I can't remember. There's different stories.
The women today, it just blows me away. You're married to literally America's sweetheart. You're married to possibly the most famous person on the planet, possibly, right? Handsome, greatest football player that ever lived, arguably. Incredible money. You have 2 kids with him, and then you decide to sleep with your jiu-jitsu instructor.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's so many different stories going around. Was it because they refused to retire from the NFL? That was one thing going around. And then I've read another article, that it's like, their divorce was very amicable because they had a prenup. Everything was already decided before they even said I do. But of course, it's celebrities. They have to have the gossip going around about, why are they divorcing? What happened?
It's just, if you don't want to leave marriage for people that want to be married, look, you get married and you take vows, and one of them is till death do us part, through sick or poor, rich or poor, sick or health, so on and so forth. It's people today, and it's not just celebrities, it's people in general, take marriage as like, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, right? They don't take it seriously.
Yeah, it's like, what don't you understand? I don't get it. The joke was funny, but sorry, love the bouncing better. Oh, okay, I did not see that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't blame you.
You gotta get better material. Come on.
I know. Yeah. I got plenty of jokes. It's okay. Give me, somebody throw me another $5 and you get another booby bounce and another joke. It's okay. But but I don't understand these people that get married and they just, especially when they have children, right? It's like, and don't tell me, well, they have lots of money, they have nothing to worry about. Nah,
you have the same problems whether you have money or not. I mean,
I don't care.
It's the relationship that falls apart.
You can't replace a father for a father's support of their children with money. It's impossible, So you think you're going to replace a father with money? It doesn't work that way.
No,
I don't care whether you're a celebrity or a normal person or an average person.
Well, when it comes to celebrities, a lot of them are very open and put everything on social media. So pretty much nothing's a secret. But yeah, everybody likes the rumors, likes the dirty laundry. That's what sells. So those are the stories that circulate the most.
Simply Deep 1985 series Sons Outcast with John Levy. I want your opinion on this. What's your opinion on movies that show men in embarrassing situations that get made fun of, and how would you handle? I shut it off. I absolutely shut it off. I can't stand it. You want to know my pet peeve? This is my pet peeve. It's in every movie too. It's in every movie, every show. This annoys the shit out of me. The guy is some kind of white collar job. Okay. And for some reason, and now that I tell you this, you'll notice it. For some reason, he can't do a tie. He's been working in a white collar world for 20 years. He's a lawyer. He's a businessman. Whatever he is, he can't do a tie. And his wife has to do his tie for him. And not only does his wife have to do his tie for him, she has to do it backwards because she stands in front of him.
Yeah.
To the tie. And it's like, no woman I've ever met in my life knows how to tie a tie because they don't have to wear a tie. But for some reason, the man is always a bumbling idiot and he can't tie a tie.
Yeah.
And it just,
I don't know how to tie a tie. So, I mean, hey, my hubby's out of luck. He has to tie his own tie.
Listen, there are guys that don't know how to tie a tie? Yes. Okay. Maybe there are guys that don't, father never taught them. Or maybe they just don't wear ties often, but that doesn't mean your wife knows how to do it, right? But here, it's always a guy who's in a professional setting, and that annoys the fucking shit out of me.
Now that you mention it, I have seen that in TV shows and movies. How is she doing that?
My father taught me 3 knots, okay, and they're all from here. They're all from this way, okay.
Okay, yeah.
My father taught me the traditional knot. He taught me the Windsor knot. And he taught me a half Windsor knot, okay. And it's all from here. I couldn't do it backwards. It annoys the fucking shit out of me, dude. Anytime they show a weak man on a television show or a movie, it drives me fucking crazy. It really does.
Doesn't know how to do laundry, doesn't know how to work the washing machine.
It gets worse. There was a show on, I forgot the name of it, and it was based, I think it was a book, and this teenage girl goes missing. All right. She winds up dead. She goes missing. And there's a scene where the police officer finds out that she's dead, and she goes to the house, the police officer, to tell the parents that they found her and she's dead. Okay. Okay. The father of the daughter breaks down in tears, can help himself, so on and so forth. And the mother is standing up, and she's kind of like in a daze, right? First of all, that the opposite would happen. The mother would be a disaster, and the father would stand up and be in a daze and try to figure out, how do I handle this, right? And then the officer says, I'm sorry I have to do this to you, but somebody has to come down and identify the body. And the father's like, no, and the father goes, no, I can't. And the wife goes, I'll do it. And I'm like, my head almost hit the TV. I was like, no.
No.
I don't care how masculine of a woman you are. Your baby girl dies as a 13-year-old, 14-year-old baby girl. You are going to be a mess. The child that came out of your womb, you are going to be a
big blubbering mess.
Yeah. And the father's job is to stand up straight and be the person that people could rely on in times of need and in times of chaos. And they just portray it total. And I couldn't watch the rest of the show. I shut it off. So that answers your question there, Simply Deep. Let's see, what else does he have here? It was not the right time to ask. That's fine, man. I don't care. Thanks for the observation, John. Depends on the situation. Well, and I couldn't finish the whole statement because of the letter limit. Don't worry about it, man. It's fine. All right, so let's go on to the next topic.
All right. What's next?
The next one is this article is unbelievable, man. I mean, this one is just people they just say shit and do shit, and it blows me away. All right, here we go. A pastor, I guess this woman who was a pastor, left her quote unquote toxic church to become a stripper. She said it sparked her queer awakening. All right. Let's see here. Nicole Mitchell is a California-based OnlyFans creator and stripper. Mitchell told Insider her childhood in an evangelical Christian community caused her to repress her sexuality and dreams to become a speaker and community leader. Yeah, okay. She left her religion in 2019 and now considers herself spiritual by going on OnlyFans. And when stripper and OnlyFans creator Nicole Mitchell finished her first ever nude photo shoot, she got into her car alone and wept. What? 2 years earlier, she had decided to walk away from the evangelical Christian values she lived with for most of her life, values that taught her that sexually open women were ungodly. I was devoted to become the best wife and mother there were. Oh my God, how terrible. You were devoted to becoming the best wife and mother that there was. Oh, I became a homemaker. Oh, how awful. Making everything from scratch, sewing clothing for my children, and trying so hard to be who I was told to be. Sounds pretty good to me. What's
the problem?
Yeah, really. But during the shoot, when Mitchell took her off her shirt and her pants, she never felt closer to God.
Okay.
This is what she told the Insider. Mitchell said the rigidity of her religious upbringing was toxic and ultimately pushed her away from it and her family. Okay, I'm calling bullshit on this lady. I'm calling bullshit. Okay, she wanted this. She craved attention. She wanted to do it, and she has to justify it because she left her family and her religion to do it. And her justification is it was toxic. I've never met so many.
Toxic. Yeah. Well, I mean, what's the old saying about the preacher's kids are always the worst ones in church? You know, it's like they always try to do the exact opposite. Of whatever their religious upbringing is. So yeah.
I don't understand why all these OnlyFans girls and so on. Do you have an OnlyFans, Gianna? I believe you do.
I do, but if you look at mine, it's probably very mild compared to other accounts that are out there. Yeah.
But this is, look, if you want to do OnlyFans and you want to do porn or you want to be a stripper, just embrace it. Just say, this is what I want to do, because nobody believes the bullshit of I needed the money, or you live in the United States, okay? You can get a job. You don't need the money that bad. I needed the money. My husband was toxic and narcissistic, and he left me, and I had no money, which is bullshit. Because if he doesn't give you child support and alimony, he goes to jail, right? And there's always a reason. Right. And then when they leave, it's always like, I made bad decisions. I was young and I was stupid, and people made me do it. And I was, it's like, I just can't deal with the bullshit. Just take it close off and shut up.
She did a complete 360 from how she was brought up. So, I mean,
180.
Yeah. Well, 180, but yeah, it's like, really, well, if you kind of read into the article, she felt like she was queer from a very young age, but she was suppressed by her religious upbringing and yada, yada, yada. So it kind of sounds like once she just left the church and did her own thing, that's when the OnlyFans started and a whole different lifestyle. So now she claims she's not religious. She's just spiritual. And
it's all these catchphrases that make no sense. Narcissistic, toxic, spiritual. They just throw around. They just what's another one? When you hate women, the word that when you hate women, misogynistic. They just throw these words around, and then when you peel back the layers, it really doesn't mean anything at all. You know what I mean? It's just it's absolutely pathetic, But whatever, that annoys the shit out of me. Anyway, final article. This one's a doozy. Arkansas woman befriends mom's killer out of spiritual obligation, and then he murdered her.
Yo, boy.
Yeah, all right. This one's a little old, but it's impressive. Martha McKay was kind to Travis Lewis, who was convinced and released after he killed her mother and cousin in 1996. Big-hearted, gregarious, and always up for an adventure, Martha McKay surrounded herself with friends. Quote, there was something about her that people really loved, end quote. And that's her sister. Okay. McKay's family and friends were devastated when she was killed on March 25th, 2020 at Snowden House, the historic home in Horseshoe Lake, Arkansas. She bought from her family in 2004. Restored and reopened as a luxury bed and breakfast. Okay. So McKay at 63 was found stabbed and bludgeoned to death at the top of the stairs near a bag filled with her belongings, as well as a utility knife. Authorities were shocked when they pulled the body of her killer out of the lake. He jumped in and drowning during a police chase. Okay. It was Travis Lewis, who had been convicted at 17 for horrific 1996 murders of her mother, Sally Sona McKay, at 75, and her cousin Joseph Lee Baker, 52, a prominent Memphis blues guitarist. So, some people have to be protected from their own stupidity. Really, I mean, some people really need to be protected from their own. You can forgive them. You don't have to move them in.
Well, exactly.
Yeah. It's just
she was a Buddhist. She felt like she needed to forgive the person, and like you said, okay, forgive the person, but don't, and say, oh yes, he needs to be paroled when he comes before the parole board, and don't end up hiring him as a maintenance guy there at your bed and breakfast that you're running. I'm like, why did she feel this need to have this person in her life so much?
I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand. Look, it's not always about somebody makes a wrong choice. There are dangerous people out there. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, we don't possess the inner ability to differentiate who made a bad choice and who's really dangerous. So if something like that happens, better be safe than sorry and stay away from that person. I mean,
yeah. I mean, her family was telling her, like, no, it's bad juju. Don't have this person around you.
It just blows me away. It really does. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right,
I mean, props to her for being able to forgive the person that killed her mom and her cousin. I don't know if I would be able to do that.
No, I wouldn't be able to.
Kill one of my family members, but I mean, if I could, I think that's probably where it would stop. That would be all the forgiveness.
Yeah, exactly. Right, exactly. All right, Gianna, where are you going to be in October? Let's hear it.
I am going to be close to where you are, John. I'm going to be in Exotica, the 25th to the 27th of October. So right before Halloween.
That's right. It is they have it there every year. I've gone I believe the last 3 years, and I believe the last 3 years, either the last 2 or the last 3 years. And I go to try to get interviews from famous adult entertainers. So from those, I've gotten interviews from Miss Danny, from Sarah J, interviews from Gianna Dior. Who else from that? I think that might be the only 3 I got from there. Everybody else was, but here's the funny part. Like, a lot of people, like, I'll be there for hours trying to get phone numbers, emails, telling people come on my show, blah blah blah. Yeah. And like, it's kind of like dating. If I get 20 people, 18 of them flake out on me, Yeah.
I will be there, and then I think it's the 26th of October. I will be at the booth for Blush Erotica. If you don't know who they are, they're kind of leading the trend of the virtual reality and in the porn industry. So I will be at their booth for about 4 or 5 hours and helping people there discover what they do, and so they can come check out the VR glasses. I think they'll have some VR glasses on display and stuff. So you can stop by and see everything while you're there. So it should be lots of fun.
Very cool. And then you could vouch for me when I try to go in.
Exactly. I'll tell them you're a good guy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is John. He's got a great show. He's very respectful, and he's a big fan of the adult entertainers. So please do his show. It's been tougher to get the guys on. Like, it's very difficult for me to get the.
Really?
Yeah, I had one guy on, but he wasn't very famous. I'm sorry. I got Ginger Lynn on. I got Ginger Lynn from last year.
Yes. One of your best videos you got on your channel. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my highest viewed video. It's as of this morning, it was up to 208,000 views.
Ooh.
Yeah, which for me is fantastic, but I think for most channels is fantastic. But it's been, I approached several guys, and for some reason they can't get on. But we'll say hopefully this year I'll be able to get a famous male adult entertainer, because I'd love to get their side of the story in the adult entertainment world. But until then, I will be chasing down the females. And then I will come and stop by and hang out with Gianna at, what's the name of the booth?
Blush Erotica.
Okay. Before we go, should we do one more booby bounce and one more joke?
Should we?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me say what Simply Deep said. You seem like the type of dude that's not easily persuaded into something spontaneous. Correct me if I'm wrong about that, but no, you're right. No, you're absolutely right. Like, I'm very. No, I'm from Brooklyn, son. Okay. Can't pull the wool over my eyes.
What, you're not spontaneous in Brooklyn? I mean, come on.
Yeah. No, I don't. Not at this stage. So I think we should do one more booby bounce and one more joke for the road.
Okay. It's a booby bounce.
All right.
Boing.
Okay, one more joke. Let's see. All right, here we go. The joke is, I got some good ones. Let me see. Okay, here's a good one. You'll enjoy this one, Gianna. This guy goes to the doctor, and he has trouble speaking. He stutters a lot, right? But at the same time, he has this huge, enormous penis, just freakishly enormous penis. And he says to the doctor, doctor, I can't stop stuttering. So the doctor goes, okay, well, we'll give you an examination. We'll check you out. We'll do some blood work. We'll see what the problem is. We'll get it resolved. So they do all that. Doctor comes back in the room. He goes, listen, I'm afraid the problem is your penis. It's way too big. And in order for your body to have that penis function right, it takes away from your speech. So the only way to fix your speech is to cut off half your penis.
Oh.
So the guy goes, do it. So they make the operation. They go through with the operation. Guy cuts off half his penis. A month later, the guy comes back to the doctor. He says, Doc, listen, I have not stuttered since you've done the operation. You did a bang-up job. It was amazing. But I can't get laid. He goes, girls are repulsed by my ugly penis now. He goes, I'm not attractive to anybody. You have to get that other half of my penis and put it back on. And the doctor goes, go fuck yourself.
So that's where it went.
Yeah. All right. Gianna, thank you very much.
Funny.
And I appreciate you coming on as always. And of course, we'll do it again because we always do this. It's fun.
Yes.
And I bid you a fair adieu and have a good night. And I will be in touch.
All right. I will see you in October.
All right. See you later.